This is not easy for me, but because the fact is I have never voted for a Democrat for president during my whole life. I've never even considered it, John. I've never even come close to it. And once I saw McCain's acting, and especially the selection of Sarah Palin, who may be very nice and seems very good as a kind of comedian, stand-up comedian, but as somebody who's serious about the issues, the serious issues we're facing and the next presidency is going to face a lot of serious issues, mainly because of the incompetence of the Bush administration, to tell you the truth. But when you think of that and think of the fact that McCain's 72 years old, that McCain has said for the last year that the most important ingredient for a vice president is to be ready to take office, that he put country first, and that he rightly questioned Obama's experience level to be the president. All that was blown out of the water when he chose Sarah Palin. He didn't put country first. He certainly didn't value experience. There's no question about that. And when he said he was going to get the best person to be president, this is a man who's been in Washington here in the Congress for 26 years. He's dealt with all Republican candidates and politicians
let me just
for the last 26 years. And he picked Sarah Palin, he knew for 2 hours.
The governor of Alaska, Sarah Palin. What's wrong with Mrs. Palin?
She's not serious about the serious issues facing America and the West. She has to have a certain basic level of knowledge and really care about the issues and be serious about them. Now, a lot of people said that Ronald Reagan, who I served for 7 years, didn't know issues that well. Yes, he was no policy expert in the sense that Bill Clinton really is a policy expert. But the fact is that Ronald Reagan had spent much of his adult life after the B-grade movies doing columns, doing radio interviews, doing regular broadcasts, thousands of them. And he cared about issues. Ronald Reagan cared deeply about issues. He liked to talk about them. He liked to hear about them. He was a serious in that sense. You don't have any of that about Sarah Palin. And I was with Ronald Reagan at his 3 summits with Gorbachev, and he knew just enough of the issues that he could have a commanding presence there.
And you suddenly found yourself thinking about Mrs. Palin in such a situation.
Oh my God, you can't imagine how she would act. Or let me say that Senator McCain would act. When I saw him the first week of the financial crisis and the way he was kind of bouncing off the walls and doing all kinds of inconsistent things, I thought that's not how a president should act during a crisis, regardless of what he says. Now, during that week, Obama didn't say much, and he tilted his position just a little bit. He tweaked it, basically, when an avalanche, a tsunami came by. But that's a lot better than McCain bouncing off the walls.